I remember student council elections back in the day. I mean, we'd sit through a queue of students whose parents were realtors and doctors and whatnot, and they would go through like a just a laundry list of reasons why we, the student body, should vote for them to represent us, to be our voice to the faculty on how we wanted homecoming and prom and all that to be handled. And they would come up to the podium talking about like, oh, I have a 4.0 GPA. I was on the debate team. I was accepted into A&M early, and I'm a good team player at softball. Also, I was in Girl Scouts for 3 years. Just yada yada yada. I don't know why I'm giving her that voice. And we would just be like, okay, you've given us a long list of qualities to go home and think about. These are the qualities that you think you're really good at, and we will consider it. But nobody likes you because you are you're kind of a bitch in group projects. And then she'd walk off the stage for the next person. And I mean, deep down, like us students, like we already knew who was gonna win. For the guys, it would be the probably the popular football player who was still decent to the weird kids. And we called the weird kids the stair dwellers where I went to school. And for the girls, it would be, I don't know, whatever girl's mom was married to the highest earning husband. I don't know if that's really going to get my point across, though. I'm trying to express the fact that nobody cares about your laundry list of qualities. I mean, you tell me when you're in a job interview and they ask you, why should we hire you? And you recite all your non-professional, maybe some professional achievements. Do you really feel like they heard any of that? Or do you feel like the job is just already going to go to someone who they've already predetermined, or for one reason or another, a person that has some qualifications that they're looking for that'll save them money in the short run that isn't you? It's a humiliation ritual. It's the self-description is left over from some bygone era where maybe people actually considered your self-description to hold any weight at all. And maybe the early days of like MySpace. I mean, they know people love talking about themselves. That's why some people start a YouTube channel. And maybe they do it because of that, because like they're going to put you through the ringer, and they want you to feel better about it. And you could go watch other people's videos on job interviews to get more of that. But it's a joke. And I mean, if you're a man, assuming most people listening are men, just know that the self-description is by nature, it's a feminine trait, which doesn't necessarily make it bad. But it is feminine to just sit around describing yourself. I mean, have you ever seen a dude's Instagram where all they had a really long profile bio? Like, it's gross. You click on dude's account, right? And you read the shit they came up with. Just coffee connoisseur, pickleball enthusiast, amateur bass player, dog dad, husband, no kids. I don't know about you, but when I read stuff like that, personally, I don't know where I get this, but I think to myself, why are you lying? What are you lying for? Like, real men don't do that. Real men don't sit around on their Instagram account trying to think of the most attractive ways to describe themselves. Real men just do stuff, and then they let other people find out and give them feedback accordingly. And you listen to that feedback, and you don't delude yourself into thinking you're really something because you put it in your bio. And if you really were something, you wouldn't even need to put it in a bio, because the qualities would just be self-evident. You would do these things or be good enough at these things enough that they would come up on your organic timeline, right? And it's okay to share. Like, I do YouTube. You know, I post random stuff that nobody wants to read. And you know, I share violin videos, right? And firing range videos. You can find them in my shorts. But what I think people do sometimes is make some just flowery autobiographical narrative, and they spin it in their head and they spin it on social media, and they genuinely start believing that people are impressed by it. And if you do this, you are doing yourself a disservice. I'm not just saying this stuff to mock you or trick you. I'm letting you know you're doing yourself a disservice because you are robbing yourself of the raw feedback that you need to reflect and self-improve. And listen, I am guilty as charged. A lot of the stuff I talk about, I'm going to be guilty as charged of. Like I used to put in my bio, back when I did big bios, I used to put violinist in my bio when I'd only been playing for like 2 years. And in violin terms, it takes you like 10 years to play Twinkle Twinkle. And I would look at that bio and I would feel some fuzzy sense of just unearned self-satisfaction taking over my brain. But if I ever played in public, nobody would say anything, which if you play violin, means they're not thinking anything good. You don't want people to say nothing. That's bad. I eventually took that shit out of my bio when it kind of dawned on me, like when I hit 24 and you age and you realize things you once did that you thought were cool are actually really corny. But I took that out of my bio, and I don't even think I have a bio anymore. But anyways, I got myself a teacher who charged like the hourly rate of an attorney. And I just got to work, baby. Until eventually, while I would be practicing, my parents, who had been listening to me for like 4 years at this point, would occasionally pop their head through the door during practice. And they'd go, hey, that's pretty good. And then more recently, I'm maybe 5 years into it now, I'll go to the beach and practice because sue me, everyone else out there is drunk. Go watch my topless video, topless weekend, to figure out what beach I'm going to and playing violin at. And but anyways, I go to the beach and practice, and girls who were walking around the beach looking for seashells would come by me and start dancing. You know, I had one couple back their truck in and sit on their truck bed while I played 6 feet from them, and they watched the sunset. They got a free show. I had golf carts of drunk people coming by and just tell me to play a couple things. And like what this tells me, I was like, damn, okay. This is what it told me. I'm not great still. I'm by no stretch of the imagination good. But the people around me have told me that I'm somewhere on the right track. Okay? Because they're not running away. The beach is a very long stretch of sand. They could go anywhere else, but they're deciding to come by me while I'm trying to play some like funky stuff on the violin. And okay, all this isn't to say, let me get my thoughts straight again. All this stuff isn't to say that you can't, that it's not possible to work at a shitty place where nobody gives anyone credit where it's due, or that your family isn't plagued with like some gross, jealous crab bucket mentality, because that happens a lot. You will be around people that will not acknowledge your achievements. But in general, if you do enough of a good thing in enough different places, someone is going to tip you off to it. And this is the way. This is the way to be. Like when I got good at insurance, after learning all these scripts and stuff, I didn't need to ask for the business anymore. I would walk into a house, I would talk to some people, and at some point when I got good enough, mid-talk, they were like, okay, when can we sign up? Like, that's crazy. If you've been in insurance land, that's crazy. Like when I got my personality right and I was out in public, like girls would approach me at the park to see if we hit it off. Like they wouldn't just come up and go, can I date you? But I mean, they'd come put themselves in my vicinity to signal that they were open for small talk, which was a big step if that doesn't happen. And you can do this too. This is not special. I'm an unremarkable person. I'm not as big as I was in high school. My hair's getting thinner. But you can do this too. It just takes brutal self-honesty. And you got to throw away the delusion of the self-description. And you just got to improve at all at all times, right? Because think about this. Every schizoid loser, every bitter, ambient poppin', wino, crusty English teacher who hates her job, every one of your shitty neighbors whose whole life revolves around invading your privacy and telling you how your yard should be arranged, all these people have self-descriptions too. And I bet they tell everybody. And you know what? I bet their self-description is glowing. But you and everyone else in their lives, you have eyes and ears. You can see them for how they really are and how far off their mental image of themselves is from the reality of experiencing them from the shoes of another person. You know, it doesn't matter how fair or hardworking or team playery they say they are. You know better, and everyone else knows better. You know, by their fruits you'll know them, right? My favorite line, one of my favorite lines. So I want you today, you listening to this, I want you to quit telling people who you are and just start showing them, dude. Get the self-descriptions out of your head unless you're forced by an employer at gunpoint for a promotion to give one. It's unbecoming, man. Like, think about this. Ending thoughts. This thing close. Oftentimes, I know you'll know this is right, the people who have the best self-description are like the worst people to be around. They're the most rotten, selfish, rude, close-minded people. And if you asked them, like, rate yourself overall on a scale of 1 to 10, they'd probably give themselves like a 13. So anyways, thanks for listening to this. Take care. And I want to start doing, I saw some other YouTuber doing this. I just think it's fun. I want to do a song of the day. So song of the day today is Still Got the Blues by Gary Moore. Trying to learn that one on violin. So go listen to it if you want. I've never met anyone that didn't immediately love it. So there you go. Song of the day segment. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.